Join me as I dive into the fascinating world of history and challenge myself to uncover what it would be like if Cinderella really existed. Cinderella's tale is one of the most beloved fairy tales of all time. But have you ever wondered if there's more to her story than just magic and happily ever after? What if I told you that the threads of her narrative can be woven into the very fabric of history? That the social class disparities, the gender roles, and the themes of resilience and transformation that make her story so compelling can be found mirrored in the lives of real historical figures and events. History is full of stories of people born into circumstances that seem insurmountable, only to rise above them and leave their mark on the world. Cinderella's struggles, it turns out, are not so different from those of women throughout history who have faced similar challenges. Take, for instance, the societal expectations placed on women during the Middle Ages, where women from lower classes were relegated to menial labor and had little to no access to education or social mobility. It's no wonder, then, that Cinderella's fairy godmother appears as a beacon of hope, providing her with the means to attend the royal ball and ultimately win the heart of the prince. In many ways, Cinderella's story is a reflection of the societal ills of her time, where women were often at the mercy of their husbands, fathers, and brothers. Her stepmother and stepsisters, who treat her so poorly, represent the patriarchal systems that have oppressed women for centuries. And yet, despite these obstacles, Cinderella perseveres, using her wit and kindness to ultimately triumph over her circumstances. This theme of resilience in the face of adversity is one that has played out time and time again throughout history, from the suffragettes fighting for women's right to vote to the civil rights activists fighting for racial equality. We see this same kind of determination and resourcefulness in the lives of women like Hatshepsut, the female pharaoh of Egypt, who rose to power in a time when women were rarely given such opportunities. Like Cinderella, Hatshepsut used her intelligence and charisma to overcome the obstacles in her path, becoming one of the most successful and beloved pharaohs of all time. And then there's the story of Sacagawea, the Shoshone woman who accompanied Lewis and Clark on their famous expedition across the American West. Like Cinderella, Sacagawea used her knowledge and skills to navigate treacherous terrain, ultimately helping to shape the course of American history. One of the most fascinating historical parallels to Cinderella's story, however, is that of Zhen Guan, a Chinese woman who lived during the Tang dynasty. Like Cinderella, Zhen Guan was born into a poor family and was forced to work as a servant in the household of a wealthy family. But unlike Cinderella, Zhen Guan's fate was not changed by a fairy godmother, but by her own determination and hard work. She eventually caught the eye of the emperor himself, who was so taken with her intelligence and beauty that he made her his empress. It's a truly remarkable story, one that highlights the ways in which women throughout history have used their wits and cunning to overcome even the most daunting obstacles. But perhaps the most surprising connection between Cinderella and history is the story of Princess Catherine of Braganza, a Portuguese princess who married King Charles II of England in the 17th century. Like Cinderella, Catherine was a member of a lower social class who rose to power through her marriage to a monarch. But what's truly remarkable about her story is the way in which she used her influence to bring about positive change, becoming a patron of the arts and sciences, and even helping to establish the Royal Society. It's a testament to the power of women to shape history, even in the most unexpected ways. So what can we learn from these historical parallels to Cinderella's story? Perhaps the most important takeaway is that the themes of resilience, transformation, and determination that make her story so compelling are not unique to fairy tales, but are woven into the very fabric of human history. By examining the lives of women like Gemguan, Sacagawea, Hatshepsut, and Princess Catherine of Braganza, we can gain a deeper understanding of the societal dynamics that have shaped our world, and perhaps even find inspiration for our own lives. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the fascinating world of history and folklore. If you have a favorite historical Cinderella, be sure to leave a comment below and let me know. And don't forget to check out my other videos on folklore and history. I've got plenty more where this came from.